Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. Our session today is titled How to Scale Security Without Sacrificing Safety, and we will be focusing on how organizations can build scalable and automated security workflows without compromising the safety of production environments or jeopardizing business operations. My name is Bhavya Gupta, and I'm a lead in the Cloud Security and Vulnerability Management team at Stanford University. I'm going to be your host and moderator today. We have two fantastic speakers with us who bring a wealth of experience and insights in cloud security. First, we have Marina Siegel, the CEO and co-founder of Timnoon. Marina is an entrepreneur and product leader with over 20 years of global experience in cybersecurity, risk management, and cloud protection. She has been instrumental in driving innovation in cloud security at companies like Dome9, which was acquired by Checkpoint, and Sysdig. Her expertise in leveraging AI and machine learning to develop high accuracy cloud security solutions is highly regarded. Marina is also a board member of the Cloud Security Alliance, Seattle chapter, and a founder of the VOSEC chapter meetup in the Bay Area, which is a prominent women in security group. Next, we have Sean Harris, the deputy CISO at Chipotle. Sean brings a unique perspective from his experience in overseeing cybersecurity efforts at one of the leading global brands, ensuring the protection of cloud environments, customer data, and sensitive business operations. Sean, feel free to introduce yourself if you'd like to expand.
Sure, absolutely. So also from a CSA perspective, I am the past co-chair for the Cloud Security Alliance Cloud Controls Matrix Working Group. So many of the people who are joining us probably remember me in some of those working group meetings.
Thanks for that, Sean. Okay, so without further ado, let's dive into today's conversation. My first question is to you, Sean. So when we talk about automating cloud security workflows, what exactly are we automating? Could you give us some examples of cloud security actions that are typically automated today?
Sure. So there's several cloud security tools that we have just in the industry at large for visibility, right? We've got CSPMs, we've got CNAPs, and that visibility results in activities that must be done. Now, depends on the organization as to who is going to be tasked with managing those cloud remediations or the mitigations of the findings that are found. Sometimes that's going to be an infrastructure group. It could be a cloud services group. In much smaller organizations, it could also be the security administrator managing some of the cloud infrastructure and implementations. Across those, now as we're looking at automated mitigations or automated remediations, including ASM, so attack surface management. All of these tools look at the configuration posture of our cloud environments, and as you're implementing your cybersecurity program in the cloud, you're making sure that your configuration meets something like the Cloud Security Alliance CCM. And so what people are now doing is trying to figure out a way to automate that response, whether that's using like a low code, no code response, which is a very heavy lift, or the older SOAR, and actually kind of coding those responses just directly in Python. And if not doing that, then managing through those configuration changes through the CAB process, the change board process, and then trying to prioritize those fixes along with other project work that the same capacitive resources are doing.
Yeah, those are great insights. And I can really relate with you on that because coming from university environment, we use all sorts of cloud providers and there's so much visibility, there's so much to fix in decentralized environments that just makes it more difficult. So definitely a challenge there. So let's dive deeper into the automation challenge. Marina, so according to the recent report by the Cloud Security Alliance, only 9% of cloud misconfigurations are auto-remediated in real time. That seems to be a very low number. What do you think are the barriers to increasing this percentage? And do you think that SecOps teams should be even aiming to automate more?
That's a great question to look at, because in the end of the day, the numbers speaks on their own. And I've seen many other reports that are where the numbers are even lower. Remediation and auto remediation is still really challenging because of the complexity of our cloud environments. I've never seen two different environments that look exactly the same. It's almost like driving in the two cities and assuming that two cities would look exactly the same for the automation of our drive perspective. That's why I'm still not using full self-driving or putting my kids in my car and letting it drive them to school, which would be pretty amazing. I think we are, the vision is there. So the first step to getting to the moon is to have this vision that we need to get there. Now, we have many different pieces of this rocket that needs to be automatically shipped. All of those pieces are there, but we need to orchestrate and make them work together. So we have an AI, we have different automation tools, we have IAC, and we have scripts and APIs, and everything is ready. And it's for us to take and teach our machines to be able to go on those very complex, in those very complex environments and fix problems without breaking stuff that customers and environments need in order to operate without disruption. So I believe that the more proficient we are in understanding the process, the more detailed we are in the way each type of remediation is executed, the more success we would have in fixing things. And I believe that the prioritization is definitely first step. We don't need to auto-remediate everything from the get-go. Let's start from the basics. Let's define those minimum requirements and start with prevention that is available already. Start with automating the most significant problems that we are able to investigate automatically to make sure that nothing is going to get broken as we fix.
Yeah, I think that's a great point, Marina, especially around the need for trust in automation and how teams can sometimes be hesitant, because I've seen it at Stanford, because they don't want to risk disruption of a live environment. So we need different workflows for different scenarios. We need to have guidelines and processes in place. And definitely, like, prioritization is the key, because we cannot fix everything. And we really need to be looking at it from a risk perspective and attack surface perspective, and focus on those areas first. You talked a little bit about IACs. So I'm going to point to build upon that. My next question is for both of you. Proponents of fully automated remediation often point to the rise of infrastructure as code tools, arguing that many issues can be fixed in the code review stage without the need of human intervention. Have you found in your research and work that this assumption holds true? And if not, what are some IAC alternatives that you're still seeing? Whoever
Sean,
wants to go first.
I would really want to hear your perspective
Sure.
on how we can save the world and make us fix things from the get-go without even getting to production.
IAC, absolutely, that is the vision and the dream, that IAC will do that. One of the problems with it is that the scanning, the IAC code scanning, is not quite at the same level as of yet. Even the Wiz CLI, you still find things that are in your environment, and one of the reasons for that is that if you are doing your scanning during your pre-production, if there's a configuration item or an update, one of the things that I have seen cloud services teams complain about is that some of the CSPM tools out there, they complain that, well, gosh, you guys are there's new rules coming out all the time. You're changing the goal, you're moving the goalposts on us. We were good last week. Now we're not. Now I need to do something different. And so the idea here is that there are going to be things that you then have to go back retroactively and either completely rebuild those services if all of your remediation is in your IAC pipeline, or you need some way to go in and modify, fix, and then backport that into your IAC code. So there's still an opportunity there for creating automation routines to fix your environment.
Yeah, I totally see the challenge there. The industry is also really wants to get to a point where the infrastructures are fully codified, and we are not quite there yet. So there are two challenges. One is wherever you already have IAC, we haven't solved the process, and there are changes that happen after we already have our golden standard, as Sean described. But on the other hand, we have those huge bulks of environments that are still requires to be codified, and someone needs to do that. And until we figured both of those scenarios and how to solve them, I think we would struggle to claim that IAC had solved our automation problem for cloud security. And the alternatives that we have right now as cloud security expert is first, prevent as much as possible by your cloud native tools. Use control tower, use defaults that are predefining the way your organization should be working. In the places where you are not able to prevent stuff from the get-go, awareness for cloud security teams is a key to make them make less mistakes at the first place. And there are a lot of technology that in the near future that will be coming out that will be focused on prevention and solving the remediation part of the journey, including the prioritization, business context, and enrichment of the alerts in order to prioritize faster and better. And also remediation, where in fact what we need to understand is that each remediation scenario is different, and we cannot just assume that remediation is one word. We just need one tool to solve it all. It's much more complicated than that.
Yeah, I think those are great perspectives. It seems like there are so many things, and as you said, the technology is out there. We just need to put the pieces together and build workflows for different scenarios, and definitely like think more about preventative measures than just trying to proactively work on alerts. And that's what's happening right now, because with the visibility, there's so many alerts and everybody's trying to just see what's getting triggered, trying to fix that. So we definitely need to start thinking about a more proactive security approach. So let's talk about moving from a reactive to a proactive security approach. Many CISOs will say that they value the ability to move from reactive to proactive approach when it comes to CSPM. What are your thoughts on automation for preventative measures, like building scripts that trigger against recurring misconfigurations, for example?
So yeah, I think that there's a lot of place where that can be utilized today, and we're seeing that in the industry, that move to proactive, and in some ways you want to be able to have not just, I don't want to hear that I had a problem in my Cosmos database configuration that started yesterday. I want to know about that when that change was presented to my change board. I want to know about it beforehand, and so being able to address some of this in lower environments before it becomes an issue in upper environments is the proactive response, because lower environments typically are not going to be as open to the consumer world as a production environment. So being able to leverage and apply to lowers first is a great opportunity to be proactive.
Yeah, I think that, yeah, sorry, Marina, go ahead.
No, Bobby, I actually wanted to ask you if throughout your kind of a journey, how are you seeing that industry shifting, and what are you as a professional in the industry who is actually running and executing majority of this program steps? Are you seeing any change between the reactive world we were living in and now?
Yeah, definitely. So I think if I think back 3 years, right? 3 years back, all these tools came out, CSPM, CNAP, and the focus was on deploying these tools just to get the visibility, knowing what our cloud environment looks like. And at a university environment, it took us a lot of time to figure out what our cloud space looks like, because it's just open, right? Students can build anything, they can use any cloud environment that they want to. So now we have that. So now we have tools in place, we have a lot of visibility. So exactly like you said, looking from an attack surface perspective, looking at deploying tools like cloud control tower and controlling things there, setting up policies, that's what we've started to do. And also trying to recognize patterns now on like, okay, these are the workflows that we need to build. These are the things that we can automate. These are notifications that we can send out automatically. That's where we are right now. But still, like, there's a lot to figure out because there's so much visibility now. We are like, okay, what do we do with so much data?
Totally.
And yeah, but yeah, definitely our team also thinks that a proactive approach not only helps to reduce number of incidents later, but it also helps us reduce operational strain on the teams. Because if we don't do that, we'll just be caught up in just trying to react to alerts and just caught up in the operational side of things. So that's where we are. I have a quick follow-up on that. So what do you see as the next frontier in automating preventative security? Because we still see that we're pretty behind on that. So what do you see like this technology going, say, in the next couple of years?
I'm thinking that based on also what you described just regarding the previous question, I'm seeing more collaboration that is happening from the reactive teams like SOC and incident responders and the proactive team of cloud security and vulnerability management. And I'm seeing that we have to start feeding the prevention through the incidents that we are experiencing. And every single incident or investigation that happens in the SOC has to come with a root cause analysis and architectural changes that will prevent similar issues from happening in the future. And this collaboration will become more and more possible as we consolidate between this CSPM and CNAP and the CDR side of the house tech-wise, and that will create better collaboration within the different teams under the CISO organization. But I would gladly hear what Sean's thoughts are on this collaboration.
So basically, so what I'm seeing is that there is a lot of the collaboration that is occurring, much to what Marina has mentioned. Also, I think that the automation is going to start getting a lot more complicated to bring in case management, so that the tools we're utilizing for the automation of these events, of these configuration findings and/or vulnerabilities, now it has to stand on its own from an auditability perspective.
Right. Yeah, I agree with you. I see the world going in that direction where we'll see maybe new tools just trying to aggregate all the data from all these visibility tools and then setting up automation pipelines.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I have. Do you want to give any closing remarks?
I would just say that what I see happening right now in the world of AI and security is that just like every other organization is looking at how AI can be applied, so are security professionals. So across the board of how can I replace mundane tasks with AI to bring our teams up to a different level of strategic alignment across our enterprise.
Definitely. Marina?
Sorry, I think the main kind of a focus for us as cloud security professionals is how do we orchestrate all of the visibility, detection, and automation capabilities we have today. And I believe that AI and LLM models can help us to make a tremendous progress fast. And organizations like CSA would definitely need to be there in order to help us to define what that process looks like, what that framework we should be leveraging in order to make this whole orchestra work together.
Definitely. I think it will just take some time for AI, for people to fully trust the automation, right? So we see it's more assistive right now. And once like people start deploying various workflows, trust will increase, and slowly operational workload will decrease. And then people can spend more time strategizing on next things. Thank you, Marina and Sean, for such a great discussion. It's clear that as organizations scale, security automation becomes a crucial tool, but it has to be implemented carefully to ensure that production environments remain safe and business operations run smoothly. And thank you to our audiences for joining us today. We hope you found today's talk useful and that you are leaving with some actionable insights on how to scale your security efforts while maintaining safety. Feel free to reach out to our speakers directly if you have any questions. Thank you.
Thank you, Bhavya, for having us.
Thank you so much.